This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live.
14 states will be crowning state champions this weekend. Still plenty of football left as we welcome you into MaxPreps.com and Friday Night Live. I am Steve Montoya, and the man to the left of me is Chris Stonebreaker.
Well, you brought it up in your little beautiful opening, and that just leads us into checking out the playoff map that we bring up each and every week, where we get to check out, who has finished, who's still going to be finishing this week, and who has rounds to go after this week. The colors on the map answer those questions. States in blue are the states deciding a state champion this week. Red states mean they have already crowned state champions, and the rest still have weeks to go before teams are hoisting the state trophy.
Yeah, and one of those states, Chris, in red is the state of Washington, and Bellevue is playing in their 3A state title against East Side Catholic. Bellevue has won a nation's best 67 straight games and 6 straight state titles, though. Eastside Catholic, they're tough, and they'll look to slow down the wing T and pull off the major upset.
Ohio was also colored blue. Number 23, St. Edward versus Hoover Heights Wayne. Wayne would capture its first ever football championship with the upset over number 23, St. Edward, in Saturday's Division I final. This is a rematch of the 2010 Division I state championship. St. Edward won that game 35-28 to capture its only state football title in school history. St. Edward at one time this season was the #1 team in the country.
We're going to head to the state of Florida now, and it will be Miami Central up against Mainland for a chance to go to state. This is the third state semifinal round matchup between these teams in the last 5 seasons. Number 16, Central beat Mainland last year en route to its second consecutive Class 6A state title. But Chris, watch out. Mainland right now, they come in ranked 10th overall in the nation. So those two teams familiar with each other, good stuff.
And with playoffs here, that means the stakes are high. And not only if you make a top play do you make this show,
right?
But you could also, with that top play, win a state championship. And with that being said, these are this week's top 10 plays of the week. We might have had a few days off, but high school football did it. This is the top plays of the week, and triple icing in the final moments of regulation on Granite Bay, and California's kicker forced overtime for Tracy. Then after a 6-yard TD run from Tracy's Courtney Hawkins, Tracy missed the extra point. Granite Bay had a chance to tie and win, but defensive back Joshua Clark wouldn't let it happen as he pulls down this INT with the toe tap on the first play from scrimmage for the Grizzlies to seal the game for the Bulldogs. Steve?
So you're saying the Tracy Bulldogs are now going up against one of the top 10 teams in the country, the Folsom Bulldogs.
Yes.
All right, we're sticking in California. Colin Stockton here pulls in this catch. What a nice little spin move he does there, and he goes to the house, 94 yards. We're saying this each and every week now, Chris. These are all playoff games, makes it even more special. You can see Jack Vander Drussen throws the ball, and Mr. Colin, not John Stockton, no short shorts, that's Colin Stockton, not John, just in case.
Yeah. I really appreciate the fact that you just got John Stockton into our plays of the week, and I really appreciate this guy running away from that like he was running for his life. Now, Allen trailed in the second half for the second week in a row, but came from behind to beat Arlington Martin 69-54. The defense does not need to stop anybody when you know that you have Kyler Murray making 70-yard #MP top plays each and every week. This is why he was the player of the year last year. And this is why he has not lost a single game since he has been the starting quarterback for the Eagles. Right there.
He would be fun to watch each and every week. All right, to Virginia now. South Carolina commit A.J. Turner's about to pick this one off in the Centerville defensive back. He's also a running back, and that shows right here. Just using his blocks to perfection. That's a 98-yard INT pick six.
American Heritage in Florida's 5-star cornerback and Florida State commit Tarvaris McFadden picks off Island Coast's Maurice Flournoy and takes it back 40 yards for the pick six. Does not allow a step as he blankets the receiver. Then after the INT, does not stress with a wide receiver hanging on his leg, getting out of it easily and finding the seam for 6. Showing it one more time. Now, he was blanketing that receiver. Like, there was no step at all. I don't know why the quarterback in the first place threw it there, because like you had mentioned earlier, he's like the Richard Sherman of high school football. You don't throw his way, and he takes it back for 6. Makes him pay for it.
All right, to the state of New Jersey, Kelvin Harmon. Watch this. Watch how many defenders he bounces off here. You guys are going to have to wrap him up if you want to bring him down, because that's a strong man right there, and he's going to the end zone. One more little stiff arm towards the end here. He's going to look at the Leaves and say, hello, Leaves, how you doing? Then he gets into the end zone. We're going to watch this again. This is just a quick screen. Why not throw him a screen pass? And then it's just like a little wrecking ball through these guys out of his way. And then, Chris, at the end, it's like when you try to come talk to me, I always say, get out of here, Chris, off me. And I go into the end zone.
Now, Steve, one of the more rare punt recoveries you will see here in the Lafayette, Virginia versus Hopewell 3A East Regional quarterfinal game played Friday, November 21st in Williamsburg. You have seen the butt fumble provided to us by Mark Sanchez. Let me introduce you to the butt punt. After the punt gets blocked by the running backs, but Lafayette's Daquan Jacobs boots it in the end zone, but Matt Hummel comes out of the pile with the ball and the TD. The butt punt, Steve, it's so great watching it right here. I understand what the quarterback was trying to do by getting the ball down the field without the defense really knowing what was going to happen, but you got to get it over your running back.
Yeah, you do, Chris. You do.
Yes, you do.
All right, in the NFL, we often see kickers miss on a regular season game to win it. Imagine a high school kid going for a 3A state title in Illinois. That's Jordan Sarr here. Nothing but net. If this was basketball, that's through. That's a state title. That's a victory.
Washita Christian in Louisiana's Garen Challenge picks off Central Catholic's QB and takes it 41 yards back to the house. But the best part of this play is this Gabby Douglas impersonation, sticking the landing and getting the TD. This is worth looking. First of all, he lays his own player out. Then he says, you can't stop me. I can't even do that jumping off of a trampoline or going into a pool.
No, you would get hurt.
I would get hurt, yes, exactly. But this boy doesn't. 2 feet, sticks it, and you know what? Give him a gold medal.
Yeah, well, this has got to be good if this is play number 1 over that, and it is. The 3-tip into Owensboro's Keshawn Walker's hands. He goes into the end zone in Kentucky. They're on their way. Moving on in the next round of the playoffs, Chris. Oh, such a heart-wrenching loss. That's sports for one team and such a thrilling win for the other. Nick Losher, the QB, threw it deep, tipped around. You can see how happy everyone is on one side, how sad everybody is on the other. Kids, please just knock it down in the future, but sometimes that's just sports, just an unlucky bounce. And Mr. Walker there in the right place. He scores. Everybody's going crazy. We're going crazy. That's the MP top play. Wow. Those are good, man.
Good plays. Those are really good plays, especially the last one. And I like how, you always make that point of just knocking the ball down.
Yeah.
And you want to get that interception. I guess it is. We see it every week that, it's easier to make an interception, but I guess not.
Yeah. All right, well, we have 5 more plays to look at as we miss from this week, and we know our man Zach Poff's got our back in the MaxPreps locker room.
And you know what, man, I found 5 more legit plays, and let's start it off with Great Oaks High School out in Temecula, California. This might be the best play even out of those top 10. Check out Demetric Felton's one-handed INT against Mission Viejo. I know Odell Beckham was big time a couple of weeks ago. Now this interception is very similar to what Odell Beckham does. Reaches his arm back, one-handed is all I need. The interception, he's gonna look at the slow-mo. Look at that INT from Mr. Felton, representing Temecula, California, baby. The 951, my boy Felton doing work out in Great Oaks, California for that high school squad. And he starts off the list with this 5th play. Let's check out my boy Jerron Wilson, though, out in Texas. Euless Trinity High School. And it's like somebody's playing Xbox One and taps the B button right there. The spinorama, the cut, and Euless Trinity's 3-star back Jerron Wilson takes it to the house. Euless Trinity is hoping Jerron Wilson can do a lot of this Saturday in Texas as they take on the number 2 team on our Excellent 25 rankings presented by the Army National Guard, the Allen Eagles. All right, let's stick in Texas. Cedar Hills 3-star QB, Justin McMillan, outstanding job getting to the outside. Look at this spin. The defender kind of gives him a little ignition going into the end zone, tightrope the sideline, reaches the ball across, fakes the screen right there, and does a good job. Look at that cut. J-Mac, the 3-star LSU commit, one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the country, and my guy Justin McMillan showing why there. Now let's head out to Mississippi. A little fake field goal for Tupelo, Mississippi, as Ray Sandroni finds a wide open Jarvis Wilson, who was originally the holder, and the 3-star Georgia commit catches this touchdown and just fooled the defense right here. Jarvis Wilson sneaks out the backside. He is wide open. Throw right on the money. And the Georgia commit, Jarvis Wilson, takes it in for 6 for Tupelo High out in Mississippi. I know, Steve, you're going to love this one. Arlington Martin versus Allen last week. Onside kick from Martin right here. Check out the hit my guy DeQuaylon Thomas dishes out. Helps spring the ball loose. Onside kick. Arlington Martin recovers. And I know Martin probably tried a lot of onside kicks last week because you don't want to give the rock to Kyler Murray, the 5-star QB heading to Texas A&M. He's going to look at this hit right here. Boom! And Arlington Martin able to jump on the onside kick. Unfortunately for Martin, though, Allen did win the game 59-44. And, of course, Kyler Murray now 40-0 as the starting quarterback for the Allen Eagles. And there's nothing better than MP top plays in the playoffs. Back to you guys.
November was filled with incredible plays, and it was so tough to narrow down 10, but we gave it a try, so let's roll the top 10 plays of November. All right, we remember this one, Chris, in the state of Ohio. It was just a few weeks back. This looked like it was going to be very bad for St. Vincent St. Mary's as the punt returner looks to head upfield, but he loses the ball, but that's where his boy Pat Oliverio is to scoop it up. He's going down the sidelines for the 80-yard score. That would be a game winner in the playoffs out there in the snow. A cold day, but a warm victory there.
Hey, if you were watching the UCF game last night, then you just saw Justin Holman throw the ball 58 yards in the air for a Hail Mary to win a game. Now, what about a high school senior quarterback from New Jersey, St. Peter's Prep, throwing it 65 yards in the air for a TD? Here, Notre Dame commit Brandon Winbush throws from his own 31-yard line to the opposition's 6th in the air to his wide receiver, Alabama commit Minka Fitzpatrick.
All right, here's the play from Ian Boyd where he's going to intercept this pass. All right, good. Just stay, take a knee. We'll get it at the 20. Wait, he comes out? That was a bad move. No, it wasn't. He just rumbles through the offense on that play. He's turning into the offense there. He's taking this one back 105 yards to the end zone. That's a pick six. He had to work hard for that one.
Now, I have said this before, and I will say it again. This play should make the top 10 just because the athlete's name alone. Linebacker Willie Smith of Mount Dora in Florida goes back to Miami, Big Willie style, with the handoff meant for the running back after blitzing the quarterback untouched and getting through the gap. Now, one thing is for sure. He took the handoff and ran it in for the TD just like the running back would have done. Get jiggy with it, Fresh Prince.
That play's amazing when you watch it over and over again. All right, don't punt it to Ronnie Harrison, especially with the game on the line. Wait, they did. All right, now you got to wrap him up and just take him down. He's just too good, making that guy miss, breaking that guy's ankle. He pushes that guy off him, goes around 2 more defenders. Chris, that's an Alabama commit from Florida State University High School, winning a game in the playoffs on a punt return. Wild.
And Washita Christian, Louisiana has a player by the name of Garen Chowns who needs to take some sport up that has flipping involved because he's very good at it. After picking off Central Catholic's quarterback and taking it 41 yards back to the house, he goes Gabby Douglas on us, flipping into the end zone, sticking the landing, and getting the TD. This is one of my favorite plays of the entire year. He makes the flip, does a rotation, and lands it. I am amazed every time I see it.
Well, get on social, Chris, and argue with us.
Yeah.
That play should be higher because Sam Wineski here, is going to make an unbelievable catch behind the defender's back, and then he continues into the end zone. We're going to see this again, Chris. It's a special play. I'm not going to tell you if it's better than the flip or not, but watch that in slow-mo. That's pretty incredible. We'll leave it to the fans.
It is a blind catch for a TD in the playoffs. I get you there. Now down 24-21 with no time left on the clock. Dunham of Louisiana's quarterback Jaron Walker has to throw up the Hail Mary for the win, and somehow, even with 8 defenders around him, wide receiver Josh Matthews comes down with the ball as the Dunham Tigers beat the Menard Eagles in the first round of the LHSAA playoffs, 27-24. Now, he didn't have to go up, but he came down with that TD
and the
for
fans
the
came
win.
down too.
Yes, and then now you will see excitement, the best part of high school sports. You know, there's not enough security on the side to stop them all.
No. All right, we're going to go to Kentucky. Bo Hodge, Merrill Hodge's son here, showing why he's making a name for himself. Excuse me. Whoop. Around defenders. Mr. Hodge just using every part of the field he possibly can. Finally, he sees some opening. No white in front of him. He goes into the end zone. There, we're going to see it. Again, this play is worth watching over and over again. I couldn't do that, Chris, if you just told me to go out in the field, nobody on there, and show me those moves and replicate it. I couldn't do it, but he did it with a bunch.
I have more faith in you than you do, I guess.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a great play. Great play, but this is the #1 play of the month of November in 2014. And with 6 seconds remaining and trailing North Oldham 24-21, it looked as if Owensboro's season was finished, and then this happened. Yeah. Quarterback Nick Locker took the snap at his own 41-yard line, desperately heaved the ball down the field. The ball was tipped by defender, then teammate, and then into the hands of receiver Keyshawn Walker, who ran the rest of the way for the storybook-esque touchdown. Owensboro takes on Highlands in the Kentucky 4A state final thanks to this play. Watching it one more time, you see it's just, again, as we say, just bat the ball down, or else instead of going on to state championship or making the top plays, you're going to make a blooper.
And we got courtesy footage here of the game ender. I wonder what team he was rooting for. He's happy,
he's right in the middle of everything.
Can you imagine being at this game and seeing this ending?
And those were the plays of the month. I mean, every time we say there's not that many people there, and they're all donating their time to be there and stuff. So the assistant principal was probably right in the mix of that, saying, just get in here. Field goal poles are coming down.
Yeah.
Anyways, as the season ends, the recruiting season gets really fired up, and we're going to send it over to Zach Poff in the locker room to talk a little bit more about the recruiting trail.
And yeah, the recruiting trail definitely heating up right now. We're going to zone in on 3 recent commits here in the last week and a half, and we got to start with my guy out in the Atlanta area, Darius Slayton, the 4-star wideout from Greater Atlanta Christian. And this kid can absolutely ball. Look at that one-handed touchdown. Now, he committed to Georgia yesterday, and I know Bulldog fans are very happy that he will be coming to play for Georgia. And Slayton, one of the top athletes in the country, rated as a 4-star recruit, not only as a wide receiver, but also as a defensive back. And 247 Sports has him rated as the 18th best wideout in the 2015 class. And this kid can absolutely fly. According to 247 Sports, he's clocking out at a 4.4 40. All right, from a wide receiver to one of the best running backs in the country, Ridge Point's 5'6", 170-pound 3-star back Remus Bulmer committed to Sam Houston State on Tuesday, one of the top FCS schools in the country. And Bulmer wanted to stay close to home, and the senior back helped lead Ridge Point to their best season in the school's 4-year varsity career, finishing the season 12-1 with over 2,000 total yards and 16 TDs. And watching this dude run the rock, I see a lot of similarities from Tampa Bay Bucks running back Dougie Fresh Martin. And sticking in the state of Texas, Rouse's Billy McCray III, recently decommitted from SMU, announced he's heading to the West Coast and committed to Cal Berkeley. The 5'11", 190-pound 3-star athlete played QB at Rouse High, and at the next level, expect to see McCrary III line up at wide receiver, safety, or both. He was clocked as fast as running a sub-4 440, and guess who was the first guy to see film of McCrary? None other than Texas coaching legend Spike Dykes, the father of Sonny Dykes, the current head coach for the California Golden Bears. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these three dudes ball out at the next level. And it's awesome to see these guys continue their football careers and hopefully not only just play on Saturdays, but also on Sundays.
All right, it's time to get to know one of the top quarterback prospects in all of the country in this Get to the Game presented by American Family Insurance.
Get to the Game, presented by American Family Insurance. The top-ranked quarterback in his class, St. John Bosco's Josh Rosen, is pursuing his dreams on and off the field.
He's competitive in everything that he does, and I think that's why he's as successful as he is.
Josh is a work hard, play hard kind of kid. He's goofy and likes to have fun, but he's also really focused on things that he wants to do.
When he gets on the field, he wants to be the best quarterback, not only in the team, but also in the state and the country. And that's something that he tries to strive for each and every week.
I protect my dreams by prioritizing my life in a way that is bound for success.
Josh attributes much of his success to the support and guidance of his family.
I have a fantastic relationship with my family. They're as supportive as they possibly can be, and I just love how my parents are just in the stands cheering for me, rooting me on.
I've tried to help reinforce what the coaches want him to do as far as being a role model. He's got to be a decent person, act in an ethical way, and do the right thing.
I'm so proud of Josh because he's an independent, self-motivated young man, and he's going to do great with whatever he does in life because of that.
Yes, I'm proud of the athletics and his academics, but I'm most proud of what he's become as a person.
Although the NFL beckons, Josh's dream today is to make the most of his time as a student athlete at UCLA.
I think it's important for Josh to have big dreams to keep him motivated.
My ultimate dream would be having a diploma to show off to my friends and family, maybe get a master's degree, try to graduate a little early, and from there we'll reassess the situation.
You always want to keep dreaming ahead and thinking of what the next step is, and I think he's learned that that's a good thing to always think about.
To watch more inspiring stories about these incredible athletes and their dreams, visit amfam.com/gettothegame.
All right, it's that time of the show where I put our experts on the spot, Zach Poff and Chris Stonebreaker. I want you guys to tell me which football player has the best hops. Yes, I know it's basketball term, but
yeah, it's basketball season
best-
starting right now, so I know what you're trying to do.
Thank you. All right. I don't have to explain myself.
No, not at all.
All right, let's roll the five candidates, starting in the state of Alaska. Justice Agafa. This was a good one. It was our first, I think, major flip of the year. We saw this one. He gets into the end zone for the touchdown. We all know, us here at MaxPreps know that this is Stonebreaker's, maybe his favorite play of all time. The flip, the land into the end zone. Yes, that's good. How about Ethan Jones? He's trying the flip himself, and he's right in front of a defender's face there. Nick Gibson, though, he's going Superman into the end zone there, flying over the offensive line. And finally, we're going to see a little different one here. This is Kyle Daitch in Pennsylvania going high and over the defender, and he goes into the end zone there. All right, we're going to start with Zach. Zach, which guy is flying high for you?
Man, this was tough. All five legit candidates, but give me my guy, Mr. Nick Gibson, the Mississippi State commit. Just check this out. He goes Cam Newton and just flies over everybody. He goes pass hops, he puts his cape on, and he is flying over at least 3 or 4 big boys on the defensive line. I'm going with my guy that's going to Mississippi State next year from Pinson Valley, Alabama. Book it for Nick Gibson, baby. Stoney, do we even need to ask you who you're going with?
No, not really. You start showing the play, Scott, because yeah, everyone knows my play of the year basically, or at least this last month for sure, because I might have forgot about October and September plays. But Garen's flip into the end zone. Look at this. Gets the full rotation, lands on his feet for the TD, has an interception in the play as well, hits his own player. I mean, he has it all in one play. What more do you need? Especially you being a defensive man. Steve, I would think this would be at the top of your list. Not only does he get the interception, gets the flip in the end zone, 2 feet. Gosh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, Clark. All right. I didn't tell our producer, Scott Hargrove, my favorite play, but Scott, run the Kyle Daitch's play. All right, that's going to be my favorite because guess what? Your play, Chris, is great for the swimming pool. It's a great flip. This is serious hops, though. Over the defender. I mean, he's got some good hops. Was that actually my favorite play? Probably not. Your flip was, but I didn't want to go with what you did. But it doesn't matter.
This isn't even legal in some states.
But it doesn't matter what any of us three think. It matters what you guys think. We want you to vote because we're narrowing down our top plays of the year as we speak. So we want to hear from you. And Chris, tell them how to do that.
You can always reach us on any of our social outlets right there on Twitter, you know, at MaxPreps, as well as at MaxPreps Video to be the first to see all of these plays. Instagram, follow us on at MaxPreps, and Facebook as well. And then if you have a top play that you want us to see, as you've seen here, we've been showing over 30 top plays, top recruits, hashtag MP top play. And now it's going to be a nice little week this week on fantasy football, right? And I personally am going against producer Scott.
Really?
Yes, and producer Scott has a little guy by the name of DeAndre Hopkins.
Really?
Yes, and I think with DeAndre Hopkins, he needs to not have a back-to-back good week, but also I will be tossing it to Zach in the locker room so he can do a way back win because I jumped ahead this week in this show.
You're just flustered because you're going to lose this.
I am going to lose, but let's go over to him in a way back win of DeAndre Hopkins.
And Stoney, I know what you're doing here is you're trying to mess with Scott a little bit back there, just switching up the script a little bit. But looking at DeAndre Hopkins, I know Scott was happy last week. 9 grabs, 238, 2 touchdowns, nearly 50 fantasy points. And of course, we got that high school fantasy show, and I know one of us would have took him back in high school. So let's check out the highlights of DeAndre Hopkins in this week's way back win. The 6'1", 220-pound starting wide receiver for the Houston Texans graduated from D.W. Daniel High School in 2010 as one of the best athletes to ever come out of the state of South Carolina. He helped lead the Lions to a 37-4 record, finishing his high school career with 57 grabs for nearly 1,300 yards and 18 TDs. And Nuke, might have been better as a defensive back, 28 interceptions during his high school career, and he also took it back to the house 5 times. And you know what's even more scary about D-Hop is he might have been an even better hooper on the hardwood. He started all 4 years on the varsity squad, had more than 1,400 points, 400 boards, 600 dimes, 200 steals, and 100 blocks in his career. And he also helped lead D.W. Daniels to their first state title during his senior season. And it was the first for the Lions since 1967. And he would have probably been the best hooper to ever come out of D.W. Daniel High if it wasn't for some guy named Pistol Pete Maravich. And I know a lot of fantasy owners will be very intrigued with DeAndre Hopkins, but check this out. A couple years back when he was at Clemson, you had him on the field, Sammy Watkins, Andre Ellington in the backfield, Martavis Bryant, the rookie receiver for the Steelers, and you had Taj Boyd, the quarterback. I mean, talk about just athleticism on the football field. And DeAndre Hopkins, Scott, I hope he gets you a 30 spot against Stoney this week.
All right, Chris, it could be a really big weekend with national records going down.
It very well could. And not only are states crowning their state champions, but a few of the biggest records that are in high school football could be going down. Out in Folsom, California, quarterback Jake Browning, a Washington commit, is likely going to break the national touchdown passing record on Saturday. He's thrown for more than 15,000 career yards and 214 touchdowns, including a crazy 76-4 touchdown to interception ratio this season. Those 76 TDs this year is a California state record, one in which he already owned with 75 last year as a junior. His 214 career touchdowns ranks second all-time nationally behind Matty Mock of Canton, Ohio, who has 219. And with 4 touchdown receptions, Navasoto's 56-34 playoff win over El Campo saw Trendavian Dixon, a 2016 Baylor commit, break the Texas state record for touchdown receptions in a season. Dixon entered the game with 30 touchdown catches on the season and caught 4 during the contest. His 34 touchdown catches breaks the state record of 33 held by Shane Boyd. Dixon also tied the national record of 34 held by Kirby Moore of Prosser in Washington. Chances are that that record will be broken this week against Henderson in the Texas 4A Division I quarterfinals.
So you said 2016, so he's only a junior.
Only a junior, so he could be at it again next year trying to break that record, just like Browning broke his record from his junior year. Dixon can do the same.
Yeah, and we'll have crews at both those games, so if they do break the record, we'll be there and we'll show that to you. And we only have, Chris, one more Friday Night Live left of the season next week, and then the week after that, we're going full top plays.
Full top plays.
That's it.
And you know what? If you're going to a game this week, you know what you need to do? You need to quick score that game. We say it each and every week here. If you're in the stands, the best way for you to provide live scoring updates to other fans unable to attend that game is by using QuickScore. You go to their schedule page, you sign up, you get your unique scoring link, open up the app in your phone, and the next thing you know, you're providing live updates directly from the game to MaxPreps. You can also send out Twitter updates and everything as well through the app. It's free, it's easy, it's MaxPreps' mobile scoring network, it's quickscore.com.
All right, well, good luck to all those still playing out there. For Zach Poff, Chris Stonebreaker, I am Steve Montoya, and all of us here at MaxPreps.com. Have a good weekend. This is Friday Night Live.
This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live.